I didn't think the pain from the shingles rash would affect simple, everyday tasks like bathing, getting dressed, or even walking around. I was wrong. Though not everyone at risk will develop it, 99% of people over the age of 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time. I developed it, and the blistering rash lasted for weeks. Don't learn the hard way, like I did. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Because at Blinds.com, the only thing we treat better than windows is you.
Don't miss Blinds.com's year-end blowout sale, happening right now. Save up to 50% site-wide, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Man, what a fun game that was last night for Sunday Night Football. I wish I wasn't a fan of either team. I can just watch that and just enjoy it without having to feel a type of way over who lost. You know what I mean? But Tiff, the Bears did fail to win this game and continue their drive for the number one seed of the NFC. They're now eliminated from that possibility after losing to the San Francisco 49ers in dramatic fashion, as the Bears tend to do all the time. 32-38. Like I said, it was a very entertaining game. I do want to ask you all this thing before we get into our good, bad, and ugly review of this game. I'm hearing a lot of this from the radio, people calling in, national pundits. I want to check y'all temperature if y'all feeling the same way. Is it fair to say, even though the Bears lost the game, they won more respect?
They definitely did. I talked to just fans from other teams. Some of them said, "Man, I do not want to play the Bears again in the playoffs. Give us somebody else. I don't want to see the Bears. I'll see the Packers." And this is no shade at the Packers, even though it is shade at the Packers. I'd much rather play the Packers. I do not want to see the Bears again. That's a scary team. They get turnovers. Caleb is ascending, getting better every week. Some other fans were like, we took the 49ers' best blow, best punch, and stood in there like a heavyweight and punched back, turned into a brawl. That's the best Brock Purdy I think I've ever seen. Like, he was locked in. All you could do is tip your hat. I mean, I don't think the defense was as bad as the score indicated. Purdy was just locked in. He was not missing anything. He saw the entire field. He was throwing on the run. He was feeling the pressure before it got there. He was just locked in.
Yeah, I think it kind of surprised me that I've seen the same sentiment. And I thought it was a great game. It was a very entertaining game. I'm sure to the lay football fan, if you weren't a 49ers or a Bears fan, it was a super, entertaining game. I've seen people say again and again and again, game of the year, game of the year, game of the year. But to me, as a Bears fan, it seems like every week is game of the year to us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, our heart rate was a little high and but we're kind of used to this at this point. 49ers fans were like, I was having a heart attack every minute. And we're like, sis, just sit down. This is us every week. Like, we go through this roller coaster with our team every week. So I do think it was a very entertaining game. I was a little surprised about all the game of the year talk, and it just shows how much people want to see scoring. Because to me, there was really no defense on either side, save, a couple good plays here or there very sparingly. But both offenses were super exciting. It was a super close game the whole time. It was drama. It came down to the last second. It's everything that you could ask for from a game. So I see why people are saying game of the year. And I do feel like I felt like after we beat the Eagles, the defending champs, even though people like to trash the Eagles, but we had such a dominant performance in that game. I felt like we should have gotten that respect and accolade after that game. But it just seems like this game is the game for whatever reason, that people really like, yo, I don't want to play the Bears. Much respect to the Bears. I've seen most 49ers fans be like, yo, much respect to the Bears and the Bears fan base. Other teams being like, ooh, the Bears about to be unstoppable. You don't want to see them in the playoffs or next year, once they get this, that, and the third taken care of, they're going to be a threat for years to come. I've seen nothing but love and respect for Caleb and how he's kind of advanced. So overall, it feels like this game, even though we didn't end up winning like we all expected to, it really did turn the tide of the narrative around the Bears, it seems.
Everything y'all said is all fine and good. It's logical and everything that. But I did say, I ain't got no time for moral victories after we lost to the Packers a couple of weeks back. I can't switch up on that now. We already killed you, cockroaches. I gotta stand 10 toes down with that.
I'm gonna say I have the best vibes after this loss than any loss that we've had this season, because I'm still pissed off about that Minnesota loss in game 1. I'm really pissed off about that. Now, game 2, we just absolutely got beat down and we deserve to lose that. Even the Baltimore game, we ended up getting beat down, but I feel like we should have hung in that game. That Packers game, I felt like we should have won that one. This is the only one, we had our chances. I felt like we should have won, but I felt really good about how well the offense played, how well we hung in there. And so this is the loss that I feel the least upset about, for lack of a better term. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, I feel like we didn't have much chance at the 1 seed anyway. We needed a lot of things to happen that were outside of our control. So it was like, was it really that big of a loss? I don't know. This is just the loss that has hurt me the least.
I get the no moral victory thing, but as of right now, with the way the Niners played yesterday, how many teams will walk into Levi Stadium and walk out with a loss? I don't think I can name a team in the NFL that would go in there and beat them right now. I mean, I think the Texans got the defense to do it, but I don't think their offense is clicking enough to
hang that many points.
match what Purdy has going on. So, I can't see anybody walking into Levi Stadium and beating the Niners the way they've been playing in the sim.
And I mean, you got to take whatever you want to say about Kyle Shanahan in the playoffs, you've got to take your hat off to him this year, the way he has his team playing with all the injuries that they've had, even a couple injuries that they suffered in game yesterday. I mean, Chris Collinsworth would not shut his mouth about how amazing they are and all the different plays that they run and how spectacular. Never mind that on our end, we have a pretty good play caller too, who likes to call it a lot of different things. But we didn't get any love from the broadcast team, but that's okay. But you do have to take your hat off.
He gobbled Luther Burden a couple times. He made sure.
Yeah, but that was really it. He just had to let us know that he thought Luther Burden was going to be something. That's really all he wanted to say about him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk about the broadcast team more because they were quite annoying. But you got to give some respect to Kyle Shanahan. I think the coaches were going blow for blow. I think the offenses were going blow for blow. Both defenses was looking real raggedy, but each of them had kind of a moment or two to shine. So it was just a good matchup and a good chess match all around to me. The way we let Purdy go crazy, that was driving me nuts. I ain't even gonna lie to you. If I saw that little ugly, snooty Dougie one more time, I was about to lose my mind. I ain't even gonna fret. I wanted our defense to get mad, but I know we'll talk about it later. But yeah, that was.
I am so sick of. Please don't bring the Dougie back. Let the Dougie die and let this thing die. I'm so sick of the stinky, whatever this is. I hate that. Don't do that. I absolutely hate that.
Well, I don't know. I know we're going to talk about our boy Luther Burden, but the little celebration he did after his touchdown, I want him to throw that in the trash too. I'm not sure if you all saw it.
Do you know what that celebration was?
No, but it looked like something I want him to throw away.
I've been informed that it was a RuPaul step show celebration.
And that's what it looked like. So I wanted him to throw that away.
RuPaul?
Yes.
You talking about the man that puts on wigs and makeup and lipstick?
There's only one RuPaul. If it's one thing the Bears are good for, is one, entertainment, and two, making sure all of their fans are up to date with getting their heart checked. Because being a fan of the Bears this year in 2025, is definitely not for those who are struggling with bad hearts. The Bears did lose on the last play of the game, was unsuccessful in their goal for 7 comfort game-winning drives this time around. How did you all like that last play?
Looked disjointed to me, and like from obviously, I'm sure you all heard Ben Johnson say he didn't have time to get the play in. It looked like that, and they were kind of just trying to, you know, figure something out, and it didn't quite work out. So I love that, he took the blame, Caleb took the blame. Everybody that talked to the media took their individual blame. So I really love that about this team. I'm sure it would have been a good call if we could have actually gotten it in and got lined up like we were supposed to, but it just ain't work out this time. We've had a lot of game winning drives. You can't get them all. We've already gotten like 60% of them, which is astronomical. So, you win some, you lose some.
Finding out that they were a little out of sorts on that last play, finding out is because they got to play in late, and sidebar, the previous coach got fired for this. But in any case, that makes me feel a little bit better, Tiff. I think I'm going around the same path as where you are. Both Caleb and Ben said it was their responsibility to do better, and they promised to do better in that situation in the future. But when I was watching it live, I did not like the play design. I didn't like Caleb rushed out to his level, and we've seen that have good and bad results. You had DJ, run a drag across the opposite side because no one went that way with him. He was there by himself. You had Swift escape the backfield. And he looked like he had an opening, but just hearing that the play was just doomed to fail from the beginning because of this organization gives me a little bit more pause, because I was upset with that play design. However, it does bring up another question. Do we think a particular issue with Ben Johnson so far is his clock management?
He definitely has to improve there. And I like the fact that he takes accountability and understands things to be done different. But yeah, I mean, no coach or player is perfect. I mean, they could work on things. That's definitely a weakness of Ben Johnson's. And I look forward to seeing him correct that and get better at that, because I think that is one of the weaknesses we got to improve on.
Yeah, I actually had that as something I kind of noted as a bad was our clock management and execution. And we got the ball back for like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So more than enough time, 3 timeouts. So you think, okay, we've got more than enough time to execute every single thing that we want to do, even though we're marching down the field. And we had been marching down the field at lightning speed. So I understand why he was letting them continue to run the clock. Because, I'm thinking in my head, do not leave them no time, because we have not been able to stop them in any way, shape, or form. So I understand that Ben's mind was like, we've got to score last, because if we give them 1 millisecond, the way that they've been shredding us up, they may win this game. So I get that, but it's got to be the balance of, if we think of last week, right, when Cairo Santos was like, yes, I wanted to get the kickoff before the 2-minute warning, but the most important thing was for me to make the kick. I think the same thing had to apply in this. Yes, we want to run the time down, but we've got to score the touchdown, and that's got to be the priority. And, with the timeout situation, the first one I understood. It was the second one that gave me pause when we had first down, when I feel like we maybe could have gotten up and clocked it instead of taking that time out. The third one I feel like we had to take because it was 4th down. So that's do or die. We had to get that play. But I just feel like, he's got to get a little bit better at managing the clock. Sometimes we a little too laissez-faire when that clock is running down, and we got to get moving. And like I said, the most important thing was for us to get that touchdown. So if we got a touchdown and left them 15 seconds, so be it. They're going to have to go beat us on a miracle, So it's something I think he's very, very introspective. He's very hard on himself and others. So I think he recognizes that, or I hope he recognizes that's something that he needs to get a lot better at. Him and Caleb together, however they figure that out.
Q, what's your good from this game?
My good is, as Chris Collinsworth pointed out, Luther Burden. Luther is a guy that, if you follow this podcast, I was adamant about the Bears adding, in the offseason. I specifically pointed out him and Isaiah Bonds pre-draft that they would be very good additions to the Ben Johnson offense. It's that Luther Burden is a twitchy athlete. He's really good after the catch. He can stretch the defense. He can get vertical. He's strong at the catch point. He's a good route runner. He sinks his hips well. Um, I just think that this guy is ascending to a superstar, and I think that was showcased last night under the brightest lights on the Sunday night stage. I think he finished with 138 yards receiving, and you saw all of what he has in his arsenal display. You saw an incredible run after catch where he caught a ball short of the first down marker, made a guy miss, made another guy miss, and then dragged defenders another 2 or 3 yards. You see him catch a deep Caleb pass. I think that guy has all the tools in his bag, and it's exciting to see him develop into the player he's becoming. I think next year you'll really see another leap because I think a lot of people forget Luther Burden didn't have a training camp. He got hurt. Was it rookie camp or mini camp? Soft tissue injury lingered all the way to
Rookie
training camp.
camp.
Yeah, he missed a lot of training camp. So I'm excited to see what the future holds with him and getting a whole off season under his belt of training camp. So hopefully he's healthy. I saw him go down with a little injury at the end of the game. He said he was just tired, something with his quad. So hopefully he's back in the fold for us next week and for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I've seen them say that it was just like a little thigh injury. Maybe somebody ran into him or something like that. But I concur. I mean, he's really come on lately. Like, he's got a definite skill set. That 138 yards that he had is the most by a Bears rookie since 1981. So he's out here breaking history. I'm sure we'll talk about history a lot. He didn't play much in the start of the season, but he's got more than 600 yards, some great catches. He has 11 plays that are 20 yards or more. So he is that big play threat. So you can tell that him and Caleb click. You can tell that he is that threat. Like, once we have Rome back good and healthy, like, we are going to have all the offensive weapons that we need. I'm really, really excited about him. Like, I was more hurt and nervous that he got hurt on that last play than I was that we lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, my heart was like, oh Lord,
We
why is he
need him.
laying there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need him. Like, okay, this loss, okay, but we need him moving forward. So I was more thankful to hear that that wasn't something serious, because I thought at first because wasn't he out with a sprained ankle or something like that last week? I thought he had re-injured that,
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
something great, like somebody had come down on him. I thought something catastrophic had happened, the way he was laying there and kind of holding himself. And then afterwards, he said he was just tired. So probably tired, emotional, all of that in that moment. But I think he's a star, and I can't wait to see how he blossoms as well.
What's your good?
I'm going to go with another rookie. And it's ironic. I think it's ironic that we picked the two rookies who had great games, but also had two
Drops.
very costly drops on
at
that
the end.
last drive that were so uncharacteristic, because they had been so sure-handed most of the season, especially when both of them were really good passes from Caleb. It wasn't anything we can blame Caleb in any way, shape, or form. They kind of both just dropped the ball. But I'm going to go
Sorry.
with Colston Loveland, another rookie who has been showing up all seasons. He has 6 catches for almost 100 yards and a touchdown. He's another player. He's got 9 plays of 20 yards or more for the season. So he's just a great run blocker. He seems to be a great teammate. He seems to be totally bought in on Ben Johnson's offense, on being a team player and doing whatever the team wants him to do. He looked really upset when we lost, which is what we want to see from our players. We want all of them to take it personally. We want all of them to think, what could I have done better? I know that drop is probably going to haunt him, and it's probably going to make him play even better and want to do more. So I'm really excited to see. I think him and Caleb have a great connection as well. I'm excited to see how he's going to grow up. If you throw in there Kyle Monungai and all these other rookies that we have an excellent crop of rookies to really, really take advantage of now and look forward to in the future. So I am going to make my good Colston Loveland.
Colson also didn't have a training camp either, so I'm looking forward to seeing him have a full off season, seeing how much better he can get when he gets a full off season. So yeah, they definitely look dangerous, and I love that we finally have guys that make big plays. The Bears have traditionally been, since I've been watching them, a defensive oriented running the ball team. So it's nice to see us have those explosive type athletes, those guys that put fear in your heart on offense.
Remember in the preview, I asked you over or under 5.5 catches for Colston. That's that guy.
What did he end up with?
6. You should have went over.
6? Oh wow, I said under, right?
You did.
But I said a touchdown though. I said he would under, and I said he would get a touchdown.
The curious stat for Colston that jumped off to me, Tiff, was that was his first drop of the season.
First drop. He
I
is
didn't know that.
short-handed.
Very short-handed. And I think he was wide open, too. Him and both of those drops were just
They
so
had some running room, too.
surprising. Oh, yeah. So I know they're gonna be both kicking themselves, and it's gonna make them push harder. But yeah, that really surprised me, and now I know why, because that was his first drop of the season.
My good from this game is obviously the captain. Caleb Williams had a dog of a game. I feel like this is like the 5th time we've asked this season. Was this his best game?
Yes.
Or was this his best throw? It's like he keeps one-upping himself, and I love that for us.
For me, it was his best game. Like, stat-wise, the Cowboys game, because he had 4 touchdowns, that was better. But to me, from start to finish, he just looked outstanding this whole game. It was 1 or 2 throws that sailed or he didn't make here or there, but from start to finish, this was the most confident that I felt in Caleb. So I'm going to say it was his best game, especially if you consider the stage, who we're playing, the time of the year. Yeah, he's coming along at the right time.
I feel like it's the combination of big plays, passing yards, completion percentage, and just those 3 together makes this a big game. Also, the stage matters as well. You can't doing this against the Dallas Cowboys on a noon kickoff when you got the number 2 Fox team broadcasting the game. Not as big as on Peacock Sunday Night Football. You know what I mean? 330 yards is a season high. Still waiting on that 400 though.
Hey, could be coming
it's
soon.
Coming, though. It's coming soon.
Maybe
watch out, Detroit.
For last.
I'll love that for them too. 2 touchdowns, and both of them were beautiful. The laser he threw to Colston on that broken play. There's a thing I've heard them talk about that so much today. And then it was I felt like this is the better pass. The flat-footed flick of the wrist, 35-yard pass to Luther Burton over the head of an offensive lineman, because that pocket wasn't clean. I felt like that is a pass only a few people can make. That supreme arm talent. I'm just so again, I love that for us, because we got that guy who can make all the throws. Maybe not complete the easy ones, but he can make all of them.
He'll get the consistency. Listen, we weren't getting the deep throws early in the season. Now he's lacking on the easy throws. Once he puts it together, he's going to be dangerous.
Speaking of that, excellent segue, Q. I texted you and Tiff yesterday after your boy Chris Collinsworth has said in relation to deep passes, he's been doing this all season. And I'm like, he has?
We've been frustrated with the deep pass accuracy. That's been our biggest concern, because we were like, what happened to the big play guy from USC that we knew was going to stretch the field and complete a lot of passes over 20 yards? That's what we were concerned about. He's been doing this maybe the last few weeks. No, Chris Collinsworth. I think Chris Collinsworth gets happy. He just says anything that comes to his mind. Maybe sniffing a little coke in that booth.
They also said we didn't have Olamide Zaccheaus, and they were like, they're really missing him. And I'm like, do you all watch the Bears?
No,
you just write notes as you go. Maybe you meant Roma Dunze. Maybe you said the wrong name.
He said he was sure-handed. He's very dependable. I'm like, Zaccheaus?
He hasn't been watching.
Zaccheaus is dependable?
See,
they ain't been watching no tape on us.
He's in another he's in an alternate reality of the MCU. And that reality is a sure-handed Wes Welker slot receiver. Look, I am perfectly fine with Ja'Day Walker getting Zaccheaus reps when he comes back. Ja'Day Walker is showing up to me and making it tough.
He sure is. He even had a couple good catches yesterday too. So yeah. When he said that, there were so many curious things that they said. And like I said, they ain't talk about us hardly at all, except to say goofy things that wasn't true. But we had to hear everything about the 49ers. I'm like, do they know we have the same record? Do they know we're going blow for blow with them? Like, it was weird. It was really weird. I don't know. The broadcast team.
How many times did he mention Pat Mahomes yesterday? Because it's a running thing about him with this Pat Mahomes love and mentioning Pat Mahomes in games that Pat Mahomes isn't even playing in.
Because everybody is Pat Mahomes-ish. Let him do one little shake or let him do anything. It's like,
well, Pat Mahomes invented the quarterback position. First ever
What's your
Him
quarterback.
or
bad?
Josh Allen. Josh Allen is another one he loved to glaze up.
He does love Josh Allen.
Because I'm like, boy, you out here talking about Caleb missing passes. Did you see how your boy Josh missed a pass earlier? But you
Listen,
wouldn't have said anything about that. You would have been like, oh, his team let him down. He carried him on his back and his team let him down. Boy, they
as
be so biased.
as a Josh Allen fan, yesterday was hard to watch. That was awful. That was terrible.
And he still won't get no blame. I said, see, they should have took the Ben Johnson. Why didn't you go for the tie? Your defense had been holding them down. Why didn't you go for the tie at home? But
That
you
made
want to
no
go
sense
for it
to me.
all.
That made no sense to me because the Eagles' offense didn't get anything done in the second half. Jalen Hurts couldn't complete anything, and you go for
Anything.
two at
They were
home.
3 and out in them boys over and over and over and over. But you go for 2 at home. Like, yeah, that didn't, and that's why they lost.
If McDermott gets fired, I can point and see why they fired him. That'll be the reason.
Josh got his quarterback fired. That might have been on purpose. Because I'm talking about that boy couldn't have been more wide open. He sailed that thing for real. I said, boy, this can't be life.
Maybe they
I know
tired
them
him.
fans was pissed. Now they can't even win their division. I know they fans was pissed.
Q, what's your bad?
For a second, I didn't think we were going to be back here because I expected the heroics. My bad was the illness that rummaged through the Bears locker room. Cover your cough. Don't share cups or women or anything.
Jock straps, which I'll be sharing.
I hope they're not sharing jock straps. That's something that the people in Wisconsin do. Speaking of which, Tiff notified me backstage that the Packers been having an illness running through their locker room, and they probably the one that brought it here, eating that stale, funky ass cheese before they got here. My bad was the illness because I was in a couple fantasy league championships, and I had DJ Moore going in one, and I shouldn't have, but it was too late. But I looked at him go over to the sideline, pull himself out. He looked nauseous. He looked pale, and he was sweating. DJ was fighting through that game. So whatever him and Darnell Wright had, I think it started with Darnell. Whatever they had was, man, I don't know if it was COVID or the seasonal flu, but it was tearing through the team. I'm not here to make excuses, but any fan wants their team to be at 100%. I think that kind of affected DJ's ability to perform, Darnell Wright's ability to perform, and a couple of the other guys who had the illnesses. So catching a stomach bug right now, it was very untimely, but the silver lining is maybe those guys build up immunities for it, and we won't see it in January when it really counts because we do not need anything extra ruining our first playoff trip back since COVID.
Yeah, you could, like, a couple times it zoomed in on DJ's face and you could just see he looked like I'm finna pass out at any
I
moment.
see why he was a game time decision.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to thug it out. And Alameda didn't go because he was sick too. It was all kind of them that was sick. I mean, you got Darnell Wright. Not only is he sick, he came out on a red eye, all the way across the country.
I didn't think he was going to play because they said he didn't travel with the team. I figured he was too sick.
I was confused, though, because they made him questionable and said he wasn't going to fly with the team. So I did a little more research, and they were saying if he felt better in the morning, they were going to fly him out in the morning. And that's what ended up happening. Because I'm like, if he can go with the team, just say he's out, not say he's questionable. So that's what they were waiting on, how he felt the next morning. I guess he felt well enough that he wanted to give it a go. So he went cross country and he played, and it wasn't a super deficiency. He wasn't himself, but you could tell that sickness definitely. I mean, I think Blackwell, we had a few special teams people that were out, a defender or two. So, yeah, whatever is ripping through the locker room, them boys got to practice their hygiene tips for real.
Wash your hands when you come out the bathroom, fellas.
Please. Cover
Wash
your
your
cough,
hands.
all of that. Please.
Get your black seed oil.
Please. Take your vitamins. Take your gummies. Whatever kind works for you.
What's your bad this week?
I'm going to say my bad was the slow start to the game and how we got dominated in the first half. Even though we were down 28-21 when we went to halftime. So we were only down 7 points and we kept the point total really close. But of course we had that pick 6 on the first play. So that was 7 points. And then we let them methodically drive down the field and score a touchdown. Then the next, we had a couple 3 and outs in a row. And then we finally got the offense going, but we were scoring really quickly. So it was like the defense, not only could they not hold up, but they're out on the field for a significant amount of time in the first quarter. And every time we were either getting off the field quickly or scoring really quickly, and they were really able to dominate the game, time of possession, what was going on. Thankfully, we were able to keep up. And then finally in the second half, we were able to make that a lot more even. We took a lot more control of the game on the offensive side and were able to kind of even out that time of possession. And we've kind of seen that game after game where we start slowly. We'll have those 3 and out 3-4 times before we get going. So I think if we would have started a little more even keel on offense, maybe that would have helped the defense just a little bit. I mean, I don't know at this point, but just the slow start and the way how we were really dominated. Thankfully, we able to keep pace point wise, but honestly, in the first half, San Francisco was really having their way with us. So that was my bad.
My bad is a little bit of navel glazing. My bad is me. The preview cue that we did on this game, I kept saying the 49ers were being glazed by the national media. Everybody was doing too much about what they did to them old-ass coats, them flailing coats. Mm-hmm. I was remiss to point out that since Brock Purdy had come back, they're now 6-0 and averaging 35 points a game. They haven't punted in a month. The Bears got them to punt one time.
Twice.
My bad. Twice. I didn't understand what people were saying. Yeah, this is going to be a shootout, man. It's going to the winner's definitely going to have 40 points. I'm like, get out of here. We know how Bears games go. It's going to be a high 20 some odd game. 20s was, they scored 20 in the first quarter, right? Well, it was 21-21 in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
My bad for not doing my due diligence, not giving a full 360 view of what the Bears have in store coming to the game. I will be better for the next game.
Yeah, I didn't doubt them, but I saw the same thing. The national media saying this is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a shootout. I don't trust 49ers defense. I don't trust the Bears defense either, but I think they may be able to hold them a little better. But again, you look at who they were playing and who they were scoring all these touchdowns on, and you're like, but nah, their offense is nothing to play with. Like, I was like, if you are, one of my friends texted me, it was like, they out there making y'all look like the Three Stooges. Like, the way Christian McCaffrey was just, I'm talking about doing whatever he wanted. That stupid play where Brock Purdy go like this, and he just got them all spinning around. Like, they really were out there making, clips and memes out of us. It was really, really stupid. So, yeah, my eyes, a lot more respect. Not that I didn't have respect to the 49ers, but a lot more respect to them after what they did.
I think for the ugly, I think we're all looking at the same thing with this, the defense.
I think we can all pick parts of the defense that we didn't like. Can I start?
Yeah. Yes, you kick it off, Q. What part of the defense did you dislike the most?
The running game. Christian McCaffrey is a fantastic player. We've talked at length about his chance for the Hall of Fame. He's had a storied career, whether he gets in or not. However, he's not doing a great job on the ground. He's doing the other things as a great pass receiver. I think he's near 100 catches again. We talked about this last week, him as a receiving back. He's doing that, but the 49ers run game has not been good this year. McCaffrey's getting a lot of value. He came into the game only averaging 3.7 yards a carry. This looked like the McCaffrey of 2 or 3 years ago where he ran it up for like 1,700 yards. He looked fast. He looked spry. He looked quick. And the Bears did a terrible job of filling in gaps and just maintaining their run integrity. And it was a total team failure. I got to watch the game again, but I couldn't just I couldn't just pin it on the defensive line getting dominated. It looked like the linebackers were out of place. They just didn't do a good job stopping the run. And I think that exasperated and opened things up for the pass. So the run game is definitely something. I don't want to look ahead of myself or look ahead of this season because this is a fantastic run, and the Bears are absolutely not done. But I think in the offseason, you got to do something to address the pass rush and the run defense. You got to add some depth, and you got to add a star to that defensive line, that linebacker core, because something's not right. You know, I mean, they get a couple games where they kind of figure it out, and then they just fall off the wagons again. So I think the 49ers ended up with nearly 500 yards, 486, 476. I think they had about 170 on the ground. I mean, that's correct. What did McCaffrey have? A season high 150, 160? And then Brian Robinson came in and wheeled off a couple runs. And Brock Purdy did his thing getting loose. So I was really disappointed to see the run game take a step back the past 2 weeks after it had took a step forward, like the offensive running game after the bye. That was disappointing to see the run game kind of fall back to what it was early in the season when they couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I mean, it was a lot of ugly to pick from the defense. It really was. I'm going to say, though, that my ugly for the defense, it was their attitude. It didn't feel like they had any fight to me whatsoever. Like, the game before against the Packers, and I get that's our heated rival. They had just beat us a couple weeks before, but it felt like we had almost too much defensive passion in that game. You know what I'm saying? It felt like they had to kind of scale it back after a while because maybe they were playing off a little bit too much adrenaline. But I just didn't feel any fight for them. I didn't feel anybody getting mad and being like, I'm tired of Brock Purdy hitting this little dumbass Dougie. It seemed like DeAndre Swift was more upset about, the kind of those goofy things than the defense was. Like, are you upset that Christian McCaffrey is out here looking like himself from 5-10 years ago? It just didn't look. And, Jaquan Brisker, after the game, he owned up to it. Jalen Johnson, everybody's saying the right thing, but it just felt like during the game, even though our defense has not been great all year except for takeaways and things like that, they found a way and you felt that they still had the energy in the fight. This game, for some reason, like TJ Edwards looked lost and in the wrong place at times. We just
Yeah.
looked so discombobulated. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he had that good play where he had the interception, but then
And
it
they
was
took it
called
away.
back by, it was just,
That was kind of a petty thing. I didn't think they
it
had to
was
call
so
that.
petty. I'm like, every time they touch a face mask from now on, you better call that play because that happens. It's like holding. It happens all the time, and you pick the most
He
pivotal
didn't
moment.
grab it. It wasn't
He
egregious. I
didn't
thought they
pull it.
could have
He
let
didn't
that go.
grab it. There was nothing egregious. And like, yes, by the letter of the law. But like I said, that happens all the time. And to call it at such a pivotal, game-changing moment, because that takes a touchdown away from them, that's, who knows how it would have went. But it just felt like the energy and the vibes from the defense just didn't feel there. Even in the second half, a lot of times we'll be flat, flat, flat on both sides of the ball. In the first half and the second half, we'll come out more energized. I definitely feel like the offense did, and they were energized and playing well the whole game. But the defense, something was just lacking attitude and fight-wise to me. And I mean, they didn't have, I don't know.
They came out on that first play and picked Purdy out and housed his interception. I don't know. I can't speak for them because I'm not them. I'm not in the locker room. But it just seemed like maybe they got disarmed and got maybe a false sense of
This is going to be
ease.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe that interception, it was a good thing, but maybe it was just too much success too soon, and maybe they thought, man, we got this. It's gonna
He
be.
about to,
And it
yeah,
just
he about to
seemed
give
like
us
they
all
just
the
got
interceptions.
blitzed. Yeah, so
Mhm.
they just got blitzed after that, and they could not answer. And I think it drained them. He was picking apart that cover three, that those zone looks. I mean, I wanted Dennis Allen to come out of it so bad and go back to man, but just nothing seemed to be working at all. Like I don't know. It just seemed to me like maybe they just got too high on that first
Mhm.
pick, and they couldn't recover the intensity once those first two drives happened. I don't think they could recover their intensity and their focus. Like they were
And
reeling after that.
yeah, and they were really, and then, like I said, to be fair to them, they were out on the field a significant amount of time in that first half. And I mean, a lot of it was their own doing because they couldn't get off the field. It didn't matter if it was 32, third and 25, they were going to get that first down on third down. We could not get off the field on third down to save our lives. But they were marching down the field, getting whatever we want. And as soon as the offense got the ball back, either they turned it back over quickly or they scored quickly. So they weren't getting any rest. And it just felt like they felt hopeless. Like, we can't compete with them. They're out here doing whatever they want. They out here doing, juking us and doing Houdini moves on us. And I don't know. I just didn't feel the usual fight that I feel. I mean, the people that we, are so used to making big plays or having big energy didn't get their names called at all.
Montez Sweat has to start finishing these sacks too. Like, dude, stop letting these quarterbacks get away from you. Either they juke you at the end or you don't wrap up. Come on, Montez. I think Montez really should have, by my count off the top of my head, he should have about 4.5 more sacks, 4 or 5 more sacks this season. And one of them he missed on Purdy would have been a huge game changer that he missed.
Well, which one?
Momentum
Because there was a lot of misses on Purdy. I remember we talked a few weeks back about maybe Caleb being the most elusive quarterback in the league. Purdy looked damn slippery last
I've seen
night.
Purdy
He
have good
looked like,
games. I've
does
never
he have
seen him
baby
that.
oil on? I've never seen him look
that
like
elusive.
that.
I've seen
I've
Purdy get in
never.
the zone and be accurate and hell, he picked us apart last year. Is this becoming a thing with Purdy? Did he have 3 touchdowns against us last year? I certainly hope this isn't becoming a thing.
I think, yeah, Purdy had a fantastic game last year. I think if it wasn't 3, it felt like 3.
Yeah, I really hope this isn't becoming a thing where we struggle with Purdy, because I mean, at the rate this is going, Kyle Shanahan keeps this team with 9 wins or above, and I think Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams would be the same thing. I would hate to. Is this what the Packers feel like? Getting spanked by the 49ers all the time? Because they just
In
bow
pivotal
down
times, having
Yeah,
13 win seasons just to let San Francisco crush their hopes every
It
year.
doesn't matter if San Francisco has 9 wins, 10 wins. It don't matter if the Packers got home field advantage. They know to just bow down and bend the knee whenever they see whatever version of the 49ers. It seems like it doesn't matter if it's Steve Young there or Jeff Garcia or Purdy or what was it, Jimmy Garoppolo. They're gonna let the 49ers have their way with them. So I hope we're not about to keep on that trend.
So the whole defense for itself, it wasn't pretty. It is a serious issue heading into week 18 and beyond. The last 2 games total, the Bears have given up over 800 yards of total offense. The San Francisco 49ers had 32 first downs. CMC had 20 touches in the first half. The Bears as a team had 19 plays. Trent Williams missed the entire game, and the pass rush nor rush defense could capitalize on this.
Disappointing.
Very disappointing. Greg Kittle. You just talked about Brock Purdy whipping the Bears last year. Greg Kittle whipped the Bears last year. He wasn't there. And you could have been serious when you asked, did he cosplay as Jake Tongs? Because just insert a tight end.
He had to. That tight end, I forgot all about him. I was like, who is this? And he was having his way like he was George Kittle. I said, can we stop anyone? We can't stop Purdy. We can't stop CNC. We can't stop this random tight end. Like, what do we do? You got to be able to take something away, boys. Please.
So I looked up last year, and Brock Purdy went 20 of 25, 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, good for a 145.4 quarterback rating.
Did he rush any touchdowns? Because them 2 rushing touchdowns was what surprised me more than anything. Especially
last year he didn't, but 20 of 25, 325 yards. I mean, everything was downfield.
That's a class right there.
I hope this isn't becoming a thing where we see Purdy and he beats on us every year.
This defense thing, we've talked about this defense all season. It's nut up or shut up time. You may have won the division off of offense, turnovers, and clutch plays, but defense wins championships. If you think that you're going to play beyond week 19, this has got to be fixed. We've reached the breaking point. The defense got to get better because this ain't the AFC. There are no cakewalks in the playoffs in the NFC. Right now, if the playoffs started today, you got the Packers.
And so have the Buccaneers or Panthers.
Well, the Buccaneers are not going to the playoffs, but we wouldn't play them. They're division winners.
I thought you were just talking about in general. I get what you're saying.
In general. Because the Bears are division winner. I mean, you either got the Packers first round Or you're going to have the 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Packers. All of those are in play for your first round game.
Yeah.
If you do want to get past week 19, if you do want to have another game at Soldier Field, guess what you got to do? You got to fix this defense.
Yeah, they got to get together with the communication. Can't just depend on turnovers. Get some three and outs. Stop some guys.
Rush, can you please get to the quarterback every blue moon just to
Can you pull him down? Can you pull the quarterback down, please? Please, Montez, finish
Can
his
you wrap
back.
up? I was like, why are we touching people? If we just putting our hands on them, can we wrap people up and bring them down, please? It was very frustrating.
Through the first parts of that game, I was getting ready to rename I-94 to A-94 in honor of Austin Booker, but we've got to have some more finishing. You know, he's flashed the last few weeks, but we got to have more.
Can we get a Javon Dexter signing? It's time, big
fella. A Grady
fella.
Jarrett signing.
A Grady Jarrett. Hey, Grady, you getting a lot of money. Javon, you were a second-round pick. I mean, maybe not a top 10 pick, maybe not a first-round pick, but second-round picks get paid and they have high expectations. This is the time to turn it on, big dog. They said you got a lot of potential. You're a huge guy with athleticism. It's got to manifest on the field. This is big boy time. From here on, the Bears pretty much been in playoff mode for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Every game is meaningful. So you're in playoff mode. I need you to show up, Javon.
We'll probably talk about this more as we preview Week 18, final game of the season. But Tiff, we all watched that press conference, and it seems like Ben Johnson's saying that everybody's going to play the Week 18. Real quick, you all in favor of playing Week 18 or not?
In Ben, I trust. So if he wants to play in Week 18, and again, no shade or all shade, I'd rather play the Packers than those 3 from the NFC West. So I think the number 2 seed is important to get. I want to see the Packers have to prove it to me. They ain't won damn near in a month. They've been off all holiday season, just doing whatever they want to do on the field, which is not winning. Sporting cheese, crying in my comments. I don't know who's irritating me more, Shedeur Sanders fans or delusional Packers fans. Leave me alone, okay? Play better. If you don't want me to talk about your funky ass team, play better. All right, Packers. I mean, all rivalry aside, and then stop saying you always thinking about us. No, I just like seeing you cry and whine. It's got nothing to do with y'all. Packers fans are hilarious. I think they got to be the funniest fan base because when we're not talking about you, you're bothering us. And then when we talking about you for losing, why is everybody talking about us? Why is everybody talking about us? Packers fans, because you stink. Because you stink and you're arrogant. And you got to
they too arrogant for what they've accomplished, though, bro. Like,
and they're delusional.
In our rivalry, okay, can you hold over our head that you beat us more recently? Sure, but they be always like, "Oh, this is the Bears Super Bowl." When's the last time you guys been to the Super Bowl? Please, can you let us know? When's the last time you won one? Like they say it, like they be rattling off championships. When is your Super Bowl, babe?
They really.
Babes, because every year I see 13 or 14 wins for y'all to go let San Francisco ruin you every year. So, babes, please let me know. I mean, you had two Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And how many Super Bowls did you get out of them? So please relax a little bit. Simmer down, please. You haven't won the North since what? 2020, 2021? So stop acting like y'all the reigning. Oh, you guys finally got it back. Okay, you won it 2 or 3 years before our last time we won it. Whoop-de-doo. You're full of shit.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was talking with a Packers fan, and I'm a football connoisseur. So even though I'm a Bears fan and I got to show bias and talk shit, I still respect good teams, even if they're our rivals. So he was talking about us not being. I'm like, you all can't brag about Super Bowls if it's been. The rule is, if it's been more than a decade since you've won, then your Super Bowl, your championship is well in the past. You can't bring it up. It's over a decade old. He was like, no, it's only been like 7, 8 years. I'm like, you don't realize that you haven't won in 15 years? So Packers fans are definitely delusional. And I saw them even try online to turn the thing. Have you seen the Ravens were wearing the cheese grater?
Yeah,
thing?
then now they're like, oh, everybody's obsessed with us. Like, please.
Nobody's obsessed with y'all. We like making fun of you. You are fun. You are fun to make fun of because you look stupid. You're hilarious. You're comedic entertainment. Packer, stop thinking anybody's obsessed with you or you're on everybody's mind. You are entertainment. You are
We
a
just
comedy
joking. It's
movie.
a joke. Like,
And
please don't think anyone is thinking about you like that. It's just
no,
entertainment.
we're laughing at you. You look stupid. You got the stupidest. Even if I was a Packer fan, I cannot see what is admirable about wearing a piece of cheese on your head.
Or what's ferocious about it, or what's intimidating about it? Like, I don't know.
The
I don't
joke's
get
right
the cheese
itself.
thing.
You put a block of cheese on your head. The joke's right itself.
And then they're trying to cope like, oh well, every good cheese owner needs a grater. We like graters. It's like, okay, now you're coping. For real. No, I've seen several Packers fans in comments be like, every cheese connoisseur has a grater. We love graters. That's not anything to us. Like, no. And Derrick Henry really needed to put that shredder on the way he shred
connoisseur.
y'all up.
What kind of cheese are they talking
Who would
about
be a
they
cheese
making?
connoisseur? Who's running around
Right.
eating dairy and farting on their entire family and in the
People from
room?
Wisconsin. And when that's your
Who
one claim to
proudly
fame is making cheese, I
who
guess.
who
I don't know.
proudly says I'm a cheese connoisseur? It's something that I go like it's one thing to be like a movie connoisseur, to be like a movie buff or a
A
cinephile or
wine
something like that,
connoisseur.
or a wine connoisseur. I'm into shoes. I'm a hype beast, something like that. But a cheese connoisseur, like the only type of cheese connoisseurs I know are the guys that be out there gooning. But I don't know. Wisconsin people are stupid. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say there.
Even stupider than Wisconsin people are Chicago people that want to be like Wisconsin people and rooting for the Packers. That is even stupider.
Because what happened in your childhood? I'm sorry.
Were you not hugged enough?
Looking at you,
Were you
Anthony
not
Davis.
They
loved?
weren't. They were not.
And that's why Anthony Davis' body falls apart. There you go. There's your answer.
That's the end.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say three things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.